This was me every weekend. I would spend my weekends at the bar. Even though I looked happy, I really wasn't happy. It started when my grandmother passed away. When she passed away, it was like she took everything, like financially speaking, everything. I saw my mom struggling to provide for us. I have two siblings, including me, three. And it was hard for her because she's taking care of us as a single mom and my grandfather. But even though she was doing that, she was also doing drugs. So it was hard for me going to high school, meeting different people. I saw people that were like rich, they had everything. And me, I couldn't have it. Like to have the flip-flops that I wanted, it was hard. My mom would drink sakao, chew betel nut every day. If she doesn't get those things, she would get mad at us to the point of spanking us if we do something bad. Thoughts would come into my mind saying, why am I here? Why was I even born if I'm gonna live like this? Like, I find no purpose in life. But then when things would go hard, I would have these suicidal thoughts of go hang yourself, grab that rope, hang yourself. I hold up the knife, holding it to myself, but like thinking, just stop and it would be gone, it would be done. But I wasn't able to do it. When I went into college, that's when my mom and my siblings left Bombay and moved here to Guam. So I had to stay home, take care of my grandfather and a business that my mom started, a small business. And I had to take care of all of those by myself. Go to college, take care of my grandfather, put food on the table, and take care of the business. That's the time I started like going out, drinking and all that. And I thought, I thought that was life. I thought moving here to Guam would change my life, that I would have a better life, no more struggling, no more suffering. Though I moved here, I had food, everything. My mom's husband provided us everything that I didn't have when I was back home. I was still, empty, I would say. I still had that feeling of, I still had those suicidal thoughts, that depression, feeling of unwanted rejection, I might say. So a few months after moving here, my mom got sick. She was paralyzed. And in that moment, in those months, I also got pregnant and I was scared. Like I was scared to even tell her because in the back of my mind, if I tell her, she's gonna beat me. Even though I know she was sick, I was traumatized because of my past experiences with her. And I found out I was pregnant and I hid it for 4 months. Me and my now husband, we were dating, but my family didn't know. And then I couldn't hide it anymore, so I had to open up myself to her. All those times I would cry, like when I was hiding from her, I would hide in my bed and I would cry myself to sleep because I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. I was barely taking care of myself. I was relying on her and now I'm gonna have a son, a child. So my mom found the church on Facebook and it was during COVID. Most churches were shut down and she was sick and she was like looking for help because she went to the hospital, she went to even local medicine and she wasn't getting better. So she finally conducted the church and that's how I ended up here. Growing up, my family were Catholic, so pretty much I call myself a Catholic because we would go to a Catholic church. And even though I was going to church, I was still the same, suffering and all that. But when I came here, there was something different about it. Like coming here, the first service, it was different from when I went to Catholic or Protestant church, any other church. And I left here knowing like, okay, there's a real God because I understood what he said. So by coming to the church and doing my chain of prayers, the first thing that I saw changed is my family. Because me and my siblings, we don't get along. Me and my mom, we don't sit at the table talk. But after coming to the church, I saw peace in my house. Like we can now sit together, have dinner, and not argue. Because I never heard of the Holy Spirit. And seeing the testimonies, I wanted it. Coming to the church, it has been 2 years. I knew that I wanted it because I saw my financial life getting better, my mom getting healed, my family getting together and all that. But that was the one thing that was missing, the Holy Spirit. So the church had an event in Palm Bay and I was present. I was there. I was helping around. I was volunteering. And at that event, seeing those people in need, seeing those people, manifesting because of evil spirits, all that, I was angry at myself, not at other people, but at myself. For so long, I was in the church and I was caring about what people think than what God thinks of that. Because I know that if I had the Spirit at that time, I would be among those that casting out those demons. And I wanted to. I was doing the camera, I was holding the camera, but my desire was not to be behind the camera. I wanted to be there. And I was angry at myself. So I did the campaign of Israel because I saw the testimonies of how people did it and they slowly started seeing change and God doing what they asked, what they requested. So that caught my attention and I wanted to do it. I was like, if I want to try to catch God's attention. So my request for the last campaign was to receive the Holy Spirit. During the sacrifice, I was working at a daycare. So when the campaign came, God asked for my whole month's paycheck. I didn't want to give, honestly, because I was thinking about my son's birthday. I wanted to do something for him. At that time, my husband was not working. So it was like we were depending on my salary. But because God was asking me for my whole month's paycheck, so I obeyed and I gave all of it. One thing that I needed to do was to surrender my husband because I wanted him to change so much that I wasn't focusing on me. I wanted, you gotta stop this. But I wasn't seeing what I needed to do. And I was even being religious, coming to church, doing all that, evangelizing, cleaning the church, helping in CPC. But nothing happened because that one thing that he asked for, I never gave it to him. My pride became my golden calf. I was putting my pride before God. I cared much more of what people thought of me more than what God thought of me. So one Sunday, and I don't know, there was just a desire in me to put on my best outfit, fix myself. There was a desire in me to look good because I'm going to the Lord's Supper, to the Lord's table. So I went that day and I participated. And during the seeking, I was just focused and I was asking God, don't let me leave. Don't let me leave here the same way that I came in. I want to be different. It's been so long and I want to be different. And then it happened. During the seeking, I consciously knew I was speaking tongues. And I was like, oh my goodness, is it happening? Me? And I started me out of all people, me. Yes. It was amazing. It was real. The Holy Spirit is real. I had God's angels around me. I had His blessings in my financial life, in my marriage, everywhere. I had it. But what was missing was inside of me. And that day I knew I had it. I finally had what I was seeking for. And that was God's presence inside of me. After that Sunday, everything changed. My perspective, the way I see things, it just changed. And one thing that I noticed was it was like I'm connected all the time with God. I can be washing the dishes and my mind is on God. I don't freak out like before and start crying because it's happening. I used to take them to the clubs, drive them, or they don't want to go, but I go, let's go. I'm the one influencing them or forcing them. Now He wants me to do it to them as well, influence them, but for God. The only regret I have for the campaign is for those that I didn't give all that He has. If I knew this, I would do it before early. And for my son, even though he's 2, turning 3 next month, I always pray to God to make him a pastor. I know it. I cry because even though I think about, oh, he might leave me at 14, I might only have 14 years with him. I'm okay with that as long as he's on the altar.